The name of the work is Alpha Pulse, and Alpha Pulse was commissioned by Art Basel. 1 year ago we started with a very rough idea, and then I visited Hong Kong, and there was an idea to involve the cityscape together with a light sound event. So I very much interested in light and the perception of light. So I proposed a piece that works with a pulsing light source and can stimulate us. And there's a concept of neurofeedback. But I wanted to use the big tower of the ICC and the existing pre-installed system in the ICC to create a kind of lighthouse tower pulsing light source, what you can see all over the city. Of course, the major element is the tower. There's a second element what makes this work even more public, let's say. The mobile phone application, where you basically can become part of the screen. You basically scan the pulse of the light sources, and in the moment the phone is recognizing that it becomes synchronized to the actual light source, and your phone becomes a pulsing light screen too, including a sound. So this kind of aspect was for me very important because it made this piece very accessible, and as well it blurs of course the border between observer and participant. We discussed many options, but I really went for the tower quite early because it's of course a very visible element, and for some reason I thought as well it's the most powerful in terms of as a light source for the city. A neural feedback is basically that we get stimulated from outside. We all know that we can very quickly get stimulated by music, but as well we can get stimulated our so-called brain waves, what give us a certain kind of rhythm. When we're stressed out, we have a higher pulse. When we are a little bit more sleeping, it's lower. And basically a pulsing light source, when you give it attention and you concentrate for a longer time, it can basically, our body will kind of synchronize to it. We'll kind of try to get in tune. And alpha pulse means basically alpha is one of the lower frequency ranges, what is, for instance, when we're sleeping, when we are relaxing, when we're meditating, when we're learning. This kind of frequency I choose basically as a stimulation. In the Western world, for us, science and religion being divided. Maybe a Buddhist would connect this immediately. But in the Western world, and that's how I'm educated, we kind of separate religious belief and scientific research, even if there are sometimes very strong connection points. I think there is a certain poetic, of course. When you use light, when you choose light to work with, I think then you automatically choose a media that has already a strong spiritual element. I think it's already quite strong statement if you have one of the biggest, tallest building in Asia dedicated just to be a lighthouse tower and not trying to be primary connected to any kind of commercial aspect. Specifically the density in Hong Kong, the streets in Hong Kong, you can really feel that creates already a kind of strong contrast. But I'm as well very much interested in how the piece itself can grow or develop. Like a little bit kind of autopoiesis idea that you give a principle, an option to the people, and it can basically, you can create a piece in a different way, maybe in an unexpected way. And I like this idea of that you have a kind of democratic tool, that you can open up the piece basically. The piece itself is not 100% defined by myself only.